Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com, and this is the Microsoft Kin 1 for Verizon, and this is the Microsoft Kin 2 for Verizon. And I've been playing with both the Kins for a little while now. I've been testing. I've been working with the Kins for a little while now, and I'm ready to tell you what I think. First, big thanks to our friends at Best Buy Mobile who are hooking us up with 1, 2, 3, 4 Kins, 2 of the 1s, 2 of the 2s to give away to you over on PhoneDog's One Pod Bandit. Best Buy working, no mail-in rebates. Best Buy working, Best Buy Mobile. Best Buy Mobile, no mail-in rebates. You go in there and you pay for the phone, and that $100 mail-in rebate, that's just incorporated in the price you pay at the register. So you don't have to wait 68 weeks to get a debit card and all that. You just get, it's just shit. You get $100 off right there, all done. Best Buy Mobile. In a nutshell, I'm doing one review of both phones because they're basically the same, except for the form factor and a few minor hardware differences, really just related memory and the cameras. So Kin 1 is this portrait slider. Kin 2 is the landscape slider. You've got a larger display on Kin 2. You've got 8 gigs of memory versus 4 gigs of memory. And you have an 8 megapixel camera with HD video capture as opposed to a 5 megapixel camera with VGA standard def video capture. Otherwise, they're the same. They both run the same NVIDIA Tegra chipset. They both run the same mobile operating system, this new Kin operating system. They're both on Verizon. They both have 3G and Wi-Fi connectivity. They both have GPS. They both have full QWERTY keyboards. They both have capacitive touchscreens, just different size. The cameras on both have autofocus and flash. So there you go. The difference really, the price, $50 on contract after rebate, $100 on contract after rebate, mandatory $30 a month data plan for both plus your minutes, and then like I said, form factor, and then the memory and the camera capabilities, basically the difference. They both also have micro USB port connectivity and 3.5mm headphone jacks. And so there you go. Basically, my take on these phones is this. Unless you really, really want the Kins, there's a specific reason. You love the way they look, you love the keyboards, you love the whole interface with the loop and the Kin Studio and all that stuff, I honestly think you're better off getting a smartphone. For the same price, in terms of both out-the-door price, but more importantly, that monthly data that you have to pay, if you're on Verizon, you get a Palm Pixie Plus or Pre Plus. You get more functionality, you can download apps, and you get the free mobile hotspot. If you get an Android phone, the Ally just came out. You've got the original Droid, the Droid Aris, the Droid Incredible. Cost you a little more out the door, though they're doing the buy one get one free thing right now. But that might change with how you watch this. Anyway, you do that, you get again you get more functionality. You get the Android Marketplace, all that stuff. The Kins are actually kind of limited in their functionality. I went into this a little bit in the unboxing videos, so you can check those out. Also, full written reviews over on PhoneDog. But there are things that you can't do. You can't install apps. There are no games right now. Microsoft said, down the line they may merge the Kin platform with Windows Phone 7, and they may come out with games. You might be able to download apps down the line, whatever. But right now, there's no apps, no games on the phone. There's no calendar, so if you want to keep a calendar, you can't do that. You have to set individual alarms. The Facebook, for all the generation upload stuff, it updates every 15 minutes or so automatically. You can't control. You can do a manual update, you can force it, but you can't set it to upload more frequently. So actually, if you're all addicted to Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff, you'll get more frequent updates using something like an Android phone or a Palm phone and setting your Twitter application or your Facebook app, to update more often than you will on these things. That's not to say these things, they do what they do pretty well, and the user interface is very interesting, and the Zune functionality is pretty awesome. If you're into Zune, you can get a Zune Pass, $15 a month, the same Zune Pass you use on your computer or your Zune device, and you can use it. These are the Zune phones, and that works really well. But it's just, in terms of a smartphone, they're really both lacking compared to other smartphone platforms. That being said, we'll take a quick look at some of the things that really stood out to me that I did and didn't like about both devices. And, you make the decision for yourself. As always, if you're interested in one of these phones, more information on PhoneDog, like I said, I have full written reviews. But more importantly, go into the store, try them out for yourselves. Because, I have these big ugly hands with a big hand, and the fingers aren't as big as the hands and everything, and my thumbs can barely move around and stuff. And your hands might be very like sleek and delicate and dainty, and so you might find that the screen and the keyboards work differently for you than me. That's what I'm saying. Try it for yourself. That being said, here's what I think. All right, and so you've got Kin 1 on the left, Kin 2 on the right. Like I said, they're pretty much the same device except for the internal storage, the form factor, obviously, screen size, and then the camera capabilities. Same NVIDIA Tegra chipset, same operating system, same Kin Studio backup system, all that kind of stuff. So we'll unlock the Kin 1 here. And, kind of real quick, because we went into detail, I keep saying the Phone Dog team, but I did the videos. I went into detail on the unboxing videos, some of the features and everything. I'll just kind of run down, my big kind of pros and cons of each device, or, of the devices, and they're similar. I think if I was going to pick one, I would go with Kin 2 because I like the larger screen, and the QWERTY board on this one is a little more accommodating for two-thumb typing, which is how I like to type. But actually, the QWERTY board on Kin 1, not too bad. It kind of, reminds me of a Palm Pre, kind of shrunken down. But, the keys are large enough that it was fairly easy to type on even with two thumbs. Obviously the one is a little more handy for one-handed use, I guess, but you can turn the two into portrait mode and use it pretty easily with one hand. So pros on the devices: the Zune functionality is terrific. The Kin Studio backup system I think is really cool. They're on Verizon's network, which is generally a solid network. I've tested the phones all over the East Bay area of San Francisco. Didn't get a chance to take them into San Francisco, but no matter. They've worked well. You get 3G data and Wi-Fi. Voice quality is pretty good, not terrific, pretty good. Had a little bit of an issue using the phone on a conference call when I dialed in. Touchscreen dialing was fine. When I dialed in, I had trouble dialing the PIN number to get into the conference call. I talked to Verizon and Microsoft about it. Turns out that I was on speakerphone, and for using automated systems, you need to not be on speakerphone. So I tried again. I dialed in regularly, entered my PIN, got into the conference call, then I turned it on speaker and it worked fine. So, not that big of a deal, but a little hiccup there. Like I said, voice quality pretty good. Not, the best ever, but certainly passable. The speaker is loud enough. 3.5mm headphone jack on both devices. Works pretty well. Works great when you use a good pair of earphones with the either device to use as a media player. And so I'll show you the Zune functionality that I talked about. I'll show you on Kin 2. It works on both phones, but I have this one hooked up to my Zune Pass. And so basically it's like a Zune HD. This is the Zune phone, the mythical Zune phone. And you can sideload your media, your music, your photos, your videos, and everything. But then you can also hook it up to a Zune Pass. You get a radio as well. So you get a free 14-day trial with the phone. After that, it's $14.99 a month. But it's the same Zune Pass. If you already have a Zune Pass for a Zune HD, you can just sync it to your Kin as well. And it's really a pretty good deal if you like the whole subscription model. Obviously, there's Rhapsody. There are other services that compete. But with Zune, you get to keep 10 downloads per month. So it's like you're paying $1.50 per download. But then you also get unlimited streaming. So, I'll go into music here, new releases. This is connected over Wi-Fi right now, working pretty quickly. It works on 3G pretty well as well. It also works well on 3G. So, I don't know, I'm going to hit Deftones, sure, why not? And there you go. Pretty easy, loads up, streams. Again, you can sideload content, you can download the 10 songs per month, but you can stream as much as you want. 3G or Wi-Fi, so it's opening the file, kind of buffering it. You get your album art in the background, and so there you go. Now it's streaming, and then while it's streaming, I can go back, and I can go, go back to the loop, do whatever I want. We'll go back into the music here. And we'll pause that. And so there you go. It's you can play in the background while you're doing other stuff. You can stream in the background, etc., etc. Works quite nicely, and there's a ton of music on here. So if you're into the whole music subscription thing, pretty cool. I like the interface. I think the Zune HD is an underrated, or it's gotten good ratings. It's just it doesn't have the mind share, market share that iPod does, but it's a good experience for listening to music. Zune Pass works well. So there you go. Additionally, other things I liked about the device, the QWERTY was pretty good. The camera, well, we'll get into the cons with the camera. When I was able to take, steady shots, the camera worked pretty well, and the 8 megapixel with flash on the Kin 2, 5 megapixel with flash on the Kin 1. Kin 2 shoots 720p high def video. Kin 2 720p high def video. Kin 1 standard def VGA. But we'll show you here some photos that I took. And again, another big pro about these devices is the Kin Studio backup.